Base is Coinbase's L2 blockchain that is associated with Coinbase. And it gives the typical crypto degen a spectacular conundrum because there is no L1 token. There is no token that you could ape into and gamble on the success or failure of the actual chain. Compare this to just about any other L1 out there, and there's always a token that you could buy, hold, stake, supply liquidity with, and of course, speculate on. So, what do you do if you're bullish on base? You see the activity happening over there, you see that it's doing really well against its L2 competition and then other DeFi ecosystems as well. There has to be a token that you can buy to get exposure to base. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Welcome everybody, Joe here for Dead Cat Crypto. We're talking about Base today, and I did do a video on how to bridge over to Base. Base doesn't have its own token. You use ETH for gas, and you can bridge over quite easily from a few different ecosystems or from Coinbase. That video I'll link down below. It's a tutorial, and you should have an easy time with it. But before we get into the tokens, and I know that's what you want to get into, let's just look at some of the comparable ecosystems out there and try to guess, what would be the market cap of a base token if there was one. You're going to see very clearly that base is right up there with some of the top cryptos in all of DeFi. Here are some base stats on DeFi Llama, and you can see there's over 3 billion, almost 4 billion in total value locked. There's almost 4 billion in stablecoin market cap. And what's not shown here is there is about $3 billion in Coinbase's own Bitcoin and ETH. These are wrapped derivatives of Bitcoin and ETH. What's interesting is down here, it lists bridge total value locked, which is about 15 billion. So these are assets that were brought over. I'm mainly interested in stable coins. And then, of course, wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped ETH are nice to have when you don't have an L1 token. These could ultimately be the collateral on the chain. And you could see Arbitrum here does have more bridge TVL, but the native TVL is more than a half a billion less, and the stablecoin market cap more than a half a billion less. So I always thought, and if you watch this channel, this is not a surprise, I always thought that more stablecoin liquidity is better for DeFi. It gives a risk off asset, and then there's stablecoins sitting there on the sideline waiting to rush into any opportunities that present themselves. Here's Solana. Total value locked on Solana is less than 4 times what the TVL is on base. The stablecoin market cap is about triple. Now you might say, wow, Solana's blowing blowing base away in these DeFi metrics, but their token, the market cap's over $100 billion. So it's interesting because does that mean that if there was a base token, it would be something in the 20 to 30 billion dollar range? Well, look, that would put it, really high up on the CoinGecko coin market cap ranking. So is this a loss for investors that there is no token, no base Coinbase base L2 token for people to buy, speculate on, invest in, if you want to call yourself an investor? One more look. Here's Tron. It's got about double the TVL, way more stablecoin market cap. And we know Tron did do well in 2024 by most metrics, especially revenue. Base is number 4 for chains by revenue in 2024. Yes, Tron was number 2, Solana number 3. Of course, ETH was number 1. But compared to other L2s, nothing was even really close to Base. They're doing something right. And a lot of people say, I'm not going to touch that. It's centralized. It's related to Coinbase. I think that's exactly why people are using it. That's why apps are eager to move over. And that's why projects are eager to move liquidity over there. So let's look at the tokens, and maybe we can come up with a combination of tokens that gives us the best bet on Base. First stop, Aerodrome. What's really interesting about Base is Uniswap is on Base, but it's not the number 1 DEX. We've got this other DEX, Aerodrome, and it's a pretty sweet DEX. It's very straightforward. You supply liquidity, you do some swaps, and I've never had a problem using it. It's where I get my AI agent tokens from, and I'll give you a quick tour. What you can't see is that it's giving me the option to log in with either MetaMask or Phantom. I'm cool with that. Makes it nice and convenient to onboard. But here we go. If you watch my channel, you know I'm a big fan of these simple swap pages. Look at that. To even give some directions for the noobs coming over from Coinbase using their tokens in a self custodial wallet for the first time. Very exciting. But yeah, there is no base token. So what's everything paired with? Well, I think the fact that ETH is the gas token, base is net positive for ETH, whereas maybe some of the other L2s are either indifferent or maybe net negatives to ETH. They're pulling traffic off the main network. And this is the page to supply liquidity. It's a little different than others. Actually, it's a little confusing to supply liquidity, but that's fine. Only, intermediate and power users should really be messing around as liquidity providers. And, it explains exactly what this means to a newcomer nonetheless. But we're here to talk about the token because we're looking for a quote unquote investment in the base chain. And, this is the number one DEX. This is beating Uniswap and some of the others. And here we go. Aerodrome does have its own token, the AERO token. And look at this, there's a locking mechanism. I don't like locking my tokens, but I do acknowledge that when you have people voluntarily locking up tokens, either in liquidity pools, in these other protocols, here it's a governance protocol. So you could lock up your tokens for varying amounts of time in order to get more voting power, more rewards from the protocol. And I think this is bullish for just about every token, especially in a bull market like we're in right now. And yeah, this is really like the recipe to have a token go up. And the Aerodrome token, the AERO token, was doing really well for a while. It has since pulled back. I think it's in a reasonable range, to be honest with you. Maybe a good time for me to add on, but we'll see. But yeah, a lockup mechanism is short term bullish for tokens as long as there's reason to lock it up. Here, they're saying you get more voting power, you get higher rewards. Well, if I'm very bullish on this protocol, I'm not going to just hold my tokens in my wallet. I'm going to want to get involved, especially if I'm a whale. And I think if you're bullish on base as a DeFi chain, and I know there are a lot of meme tokens that have done pretty well on base, but if you're bullish as on a if you're bullish on base as a DeFi chain, I think Aerodrome is the number one token you should have in your portfolio. Just like Uniswap was not the number one DEX on base, uh, Aave is not the number one lending protocol here either. I'm at Morpho. It's app.morpho.org. By the way, all of the links will be down below so you can go directly to the official sites. That's the safest way to go about it if you're going to connect your wallet. But here you go. It's a permissionless lending app. And I mentioned earlier that Base does have some good collateral. You have stable coins, you have Coinbases, wrapped Bitcoin, Coinbases, wrapped ETH. And here you go. How does it work? You just deposit into a vault, and the vault gets managed by third party risk experts. That sounds pretty good. If I'm a beginner and I don't want to learn the protocol inside out, let the experts do it for me. And there are different risk protocols that make sense. And you can create your own vault. It's permissionless. So, users, if you're going to go that route, you probably need, some idea of the risks involved, but you do deposit your assets into the protocol and there's yield to be earned. So, this is an over collateralized lending protocol, which is not great for capital efficiency, but it's looked at as a little bit more safe, I would imagine. And you're basically gaining the yield from borrowers on the other side. Interest gets paid to the vault, and then depending on the different amounts that the participants have deposited, that's going to get split up. So here we go. These are the various vaults. There's the net APY. I want to sort these by API and see what kind of yields are out there. I've never been inspired to get involved in these lending protocols. I've just never seen an APR that seems worth it to me. But here you go. This is a USDC vault earning up to 20%. Oh, where have I heard that before? But not all of it is getting paid in stablecoins. It looks like Morpho is being emitted to reward the kind of supplement the rewards here. And then there's the seam token, and then the rate I would imagine is paid in kind. So rewards are coming from different places. You could deposit into one of these vaults if this fits your risk profile. And it looks like you'll be earning a variety of tokens depending on the actual vault. If I want to borrow, the page looks like this. So if I put up my Bitcoin collateral here, I could borrow USDC. This is the liquidation info here. And it's going to cost me 6.88% per day. Is this a good rate? I don't know, but it's actually 7.38, and it looks like you get some Morpho rewards. There was an old saying in DeFi summer, don't buy these DeFi tokens, farm them or earn them. And I think maybe this holds true for Morpho. If you feel like your USDC is sitting there idle, you want to supply it into the protocol, you're going to earn in these three tokens. Maybe a good way to stack Morpho, although 5%, I don't know if that's going to be if that's going to stay like this for any extended period of time. You'll have to go into the docs. But yeah, this is the number one lending protocol on Base. I know I did an AI agent video last week. It's the last video on my channel, but I can't not talk about virtuals. This token, the virtuals token itself, has you know basically taken Base by storm. AI agents, right? Not just AI, but AI agents that have Twitters and tokens. It's kind of weird, but this is like an all-in-one platform, and there are several on Base. This just happens to be number one. Here are the AI agent tokens that have fully matured. They call them sentient and Vader AI. I have this one, some kind of investment DAO. It needs its own video. I'm not going to go too deep into any one of these tokens, but you can click on them, and there's actually a lot of information here to do research, right? Do your own research. And oh, look, that chart looks good. I haven't checked it in a while. I don't remember when I bought it. I think I bought it somewhere over here. But yeah, Vader AI gives you the chart built into the platform. You can do the swap right here using Virtuals token or USDC or Coinbase ETH, any of these others. When these tokens first go live, you have to use the Virtuals token. So the main reason why, in my opinion, Virtuals just absolutely rocketed into the billions in market cap is because people are buying the token to get in early on these AI agent token sales, and then that liquidity gets tied up, taken out of circulation, kind of like what I was mentioning with AERO. And yeah, it's been sending the virtuals token up and up and up and up. But let's go a little bit into Vader. You can get some biographical information of the agent, some information about the holders. When I click on prototype, it brings me to the tokens that are just created, right? It says a day ago, 4 days ago, and they're still going through the bonding curve process. This one's been around for a while. Let me click this, see what's going on. Oh, you could see it's only got 86% of the required liquidity before all that liquidity gets deposited into Uniswap. I said Aerodrome before, but no, it goes into Uniswap, it looks like. And as the price goes up, it actually progresses faster. Right now, the market cap is 281,000. Looks like it's not going to get off the ground anytime soon. Yeah, token dumped. This is probably like a whale or an insider dump, right? And yeah, it's been a month. So don't have high hopes for this one. But if I click this, if I know what this is, I could get some more information on how the AI agent is programmed, right? This is coder language here, and yeah, giving me it's like giving me the genetics of the of the AI agent, the personality of the AI agent. And you see this button over here, create new AI agent. Let's get into this. Looks like you're just kind of making a Twitter profile, right? Agent name, it's Joe. Ticker, duh, Joe AI. And I can give it a biography, and I could choose what type: productivity, entertainment, all this stuff, information. Yeah, I'm going to pick a creative one. I need an AI agent to do my content for me. I have to bring it up because Base is seemingly a redundant chain in some respects, right? There are so many L2s, there are so many DeFi smart contract platforms, so many EVMs. Solana's got meme tokens. Base maybe will be the AI agent leaders. So, in my opinion, I think that the Virtuals token, or just looking through the ecosystem that Virtuals is building and picking some AI agents that you're bullish on, would be a perfect complement to DeFi tokens like AERO and maybe like Morpho as well. So we looked at three tokens. We have Aero, we've got Morph, and we've got Virtuals. I think that some combination of that, or maybe even digging a little deeper into Virtuals to pick a few AI agents that you like, would be a decent starting point to get exposure to the activity on Base. I expect all three apps to gain more volume, more attention, more users over time. And Base to me is the place to be because it is so close to Coinbase. It is an EVM chain, it's an ETH layer 2, easy to bridge. And it's very, very, very friendly to new users who might want to venture off a centralized exchange and play around with DeFi, chase yields, and of course, trade AI agent tokens. But that's it. That's my video on Base. There'll be another one in the near future, I'm sure. Thanks so much for stopping by. I would appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel, like the video, and of course, watch out for my tweets where I share lots of crypto and Web3 important info that will help you pick better tokens.